All right, what's up, everyone? It's Nick Atkin here, South China Morning Post, SCMP Martial Arts in Hong Kong for another edition of the Post Fight Podcast. I got my guy JHK John over here, and we got a special guest, Reinier de Ridder, the One Championship middleweight champ, joins us while playing cards with his daughter. First of all, Reinier, who's winning, you or your daughter?
It's hard for me, but I'm letting her win a bit.
I bet. You're just saying that she's kicking your ass, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the reason we wanted to talk to you, RDR, is because yeah, there was a bit of news that came out, but then you seemed to knock it down. You know, Chatri told me you wanted to challenge for the welterweight interim title. I put the news out there, and then you said, "No way, he can come up to middleweight." What's going on? Is this fake news, or is it some posturing? What's happening here?
I don't know who started it, but I think it's better if he just comes up to middleweight. He's an interesting guy, right? So his wrestling is top notch. His wrestling is very good. So it's an interesting challenge, which does get me excited. But cutting down to welterweight doesn't really get me excited, to be honest.
You said you have to cut your leg off to make it as well, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard. It will be pretty hard. So especially because it has to be hydrated, right? You have to get there steadily. That's been like steady 84 kilos when I was like 16 years old, maybe. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's gonna be that will be a very very big cut. I'm open to it, uh, but it's very 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 remote. Would be much better if he comes up.
well, so Isaac is saying Chatri lied. Ah, I don't know. It's somewhere in the middle. Did you
No,
did
I
you
think
say to them?
no, I didn't. I don't think he lied. It's I think there's a lot of people in the organization, of course, and there's a lot of people between me and Chatri always. So a direct call would have been better, maybe.
Yeah, well, Chatri tends to do that sometimes with us. He'll give us some news, and then we'll put it out there, and then someone will say, "Oh, I didn't say that." And there's a lot of
Yeah,
people, aren't there? Like you say, between you and him.
it's like that. It's my management, and it's the guys. It's Rick and Matt, matchmakers in one, and a lot of guys in the organization. So this shit happens, but it's all right. At least we're talking about it, right?
Yeah, because I saw you were putting out some messages saying, "I want to fight. I want a middleweight fight." And what's going on there? Have they not got any contenders for you and challenges? I know the division isn't so stacked, right? And Ong La is probably the next. You know, he just beat Fan Rong. He's got a few wins, but he's not agreed a new contract with the company. That's still going on. So it's a bit of a mess right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and yeah, I'm just looking for new challenges, right? I just want new guys, and in that regard, the Russian guy is interesting, of course. Um, but yeah, it's hard because they haven't really signed a lot of new talent the last couple of years. They should be bringing middleweights in anyway, um, and if it's Ong, it's Ong. But yeah, who knows, man? I beat him twice. It's not that exciting, to be honest. So we're in a bit of
What?
a pickle.
Well, who's this guy they lined up for you last year, and then it fell through, I think, and then you ended up
Yeah.
with the Malakin fight.
Yeah, it was like a document issue or something like that, and you showed me he fought in another organization pretty soon after. So I think he's still going, but there's middleweights out there, man. There's a lot of middleweights out there. If you keep an eye on the local scene, there's a lot of middleweights coming up. So there are challenges out there, or maybe a welterweight coming up like Ramazanov.
Hmm. Ramazanov, yeah. Well, I was speaking to his buddy Jamil Gasanov, who said he walks around at 81 and competes at 84. So it's very difficult for him to get up. I think middle if
They,
you want to come there.
they have their ways on that side of the world to gain weight, as you know.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, what do you think? Who do you think would be the right welterweight title fight then? If you're not going to do it, do you care? I know we've got guys like Murad there, Kadestam knocked out Soldich. Any of that?
Yeah, the obvious one is Kazakhstan, right? He's been on a
Mm.
tear, man. He's knocking everybody out. The only thing is he lost to Ramazanov before, of course. Um, but the last couple of fights, he looked pretty much undefeatable in the fight with with the Croatian. I'm sorry,
Oh, Soldic.
Solic.
Roberto
Sorry, yeah,
Soldic,
so
yeah.
Roberto. Um, he the first round wasn't that great, but he stayed safe. He was moving. He didn't really get hurt with all those left hands Solic was putting on him, and he came back like a monster, man. His technical ability is really shining. So I think he's the one that deserves it. But the Ramazanov fight first time was pretty one sided. So yeah. So we're
Maybe they
all
see what you did to Abasov though, and they're a bit scared to come up because you
yeah
butchered that guy, right?
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's your own fault. You can't get a fight.
Yeah, no, but there's middleweights out there. And they told me they had some new middleweights in the works. So yeah, let's do it.
Does it annoy you when you see they keep finding guys for, let's say, Reggie and Ursel, lightweight, Muay Thai, and kickboxing champ? They
Yeah,
keep lining them up. He keeps knocking them down, but they can't seem to find those guys for you, can they? They're sort of reaching back into what they already have had, and yeah, you've kind of beaten everyone. It's a little bit stale.
yeah, exactly. And which sparked my interest to move up and stuff. And that didn't go too well. So
It
so
did not.
a middleweight fight would be nice. So hopefully they sign some new talent, or they can bring a welterweight up. But we'll have to see. Just to move down to welterweight, it's it would have such an influence on my day-to-day life. I really needed a couple of months to get there. Um, would really be detrimental to my performance. I'd imagine. So if there's no other way, I want to fight. That's the most important thing. I want a guy in front of me. I want a nice new challenge. Um, but if it's possible in any regard, it shouldn't be at welterweight.
Yeah, you've kind of been bending over backwards to get fights. You're like, oh, I'll go challenge Malakin, or I'll try submission
Yeah.
grappling with Ty Rotolo. But now it's time for you to have your bread and butter, I think, right? Would you agree? Let's get back to middleweight. This is where you do your best work, where you dominate.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not look the grappling stuff every time. It's a nice detour, and I really love it. It's so cool to be able to grapple some of the best in the world. But it's pretty hard, to be honest, if you're an MMA fighter to step out of it, and then I'm in a clinch. I have the guy where I want him. I want to throw some fucking knees and elbows, man. I wanna hurt the guy. So it's a hard switch to grapple those guys. They don't do anything else but grapple. Um, so yeah. And on Region van Eersel, talking about him, what a fucking monster, man. He did awesome again, man. Like a fucking
Yeah.
savage. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Excellent performance from him. John, sorry, I've kind of been hogging all the questions. If you have any, please ask. Otherwise, I've got a bunch more for RDR while we have him. For everyone watching, I think we're going to kind of get 15 minutes with RDR if he's cool with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And then
go ahead. Whatever. I'm on the holiday. Huh? I'm on the
Oh,
beach here.
wow. I
Oh,
was
where are
going to
you at?
say,
I'm on Gran Canaria,
Oh, okay.
just
man,
chilling with the kids a couple days.
How is the hydrations been the last couple of times? Like making weight
No,
and
it's
stuff
very
like
easy
that.
for me to make middleweight. I walk around 95 kilos, weigh in
Mm.
93, so it's very easy. And it's like when I fought at light heavyweight the last time, I weighed like 96, so
Mhm.
basically put on a kilo of fat. It's pretty hard to put on some weight if you do the type of work we do, like on the mats every day. It's basically cardio all day. So
Mhm.
to put on muscle mass, it's a very tedious process.
How was that experience doing submission grappling?
Very cool, man. It was cool to be part of the American card for the first time.
Mm.
The crowd there is crazy. It's a lot different than Asia is. Asia is cool. They're very respectful. They really like the fighting and stuff. But the people in America, they come for a party. They're all drunk out of the mind. They're all cheering. They're happy about everything. It's very cool.
Nice.
yeah, I was going to ask you, Reinier. We didn't get to speak to you after that grappling match. I did sort of bump into you in the arena. You looked like your face of thunder, and then we saw you at a hotel, and I knew, all right, he's not in the mood to
This is not the
talk.
moment.
But you did come and say goodbye to me and Tom, and you shook a hand, so
Yeah,
I appreciate
of
that.
course.
But yeah, I didn't want to it was a bit raw. I know you never like losing. You're a real competitor. Yeah, what's your takeaways from fight week there and the whole
Yeah,
experience?
yeah. It was cool. It was cool to be a part of it. Cool to be in Denver for this. Yeah, I think it was, as I said afterwards. This wasn't a loss. It wasn't a win. It was a draw. That's what it was. We were very close, which is okay. It doesn't make me happy or sad, but would have been cool to choke him out. And I think um, I could have had a chance. Maybe should have taken a bit more risks, and he didn't really take a lot of risk either. So we were close in that regard. I think both of us were thinking of when we were both kind of avoiding getting guillotined or darsed, and this is the result. So it's a shame. But I'm really looking forward to, like I said, throw some elbows, throw some knees, make it a bit more interesting and a bit more dangerous.
What do you think
Well,
of? Sorry, you go ahead, John.
Go ahead.
oh well, what about combat jiu-jitsu? Do you think that would be something that maybe they should consider in one?
Yeah, like slapping and stuff. Yeah, maybe or
Yeah.
maybe just fight, man. It's better.
Well, Cade was telling me, yeah, he'd like to see combat jiu-jitsu, but what do you make of Ty and Cade? Having grappled Ty now, they the real deal or what?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah. As I said afterwards, man, we should continue this one in the gym and maybe live stream it.
Yeah, he talked a little bit of they're very nice boys, but
Yeah,
they don't really trash talk. But he sort of said you were just standing against the fence the whole time and all that. And what do you make of that? Do you think you were being too defensive?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Yeah, it is what it is. Would have been better if there was a bit more action. We could have gotten it to the ground, but yeah, it didn't happen that way. So it's a shame. Both of us were pretty hesitant to shoot in low. I did expect him to pull guard at some point or whatever, but that didn't happen. Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, those
They're gonna
boys,
fight MMA.
yeah, they want to go to MMA.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think of their chances in that?
I don't know. I don't know what their. To be honest, I don't really know what their shoot boxing. So the combination of throwing strikes and wrestling looks like, because it's very different from the way they take down now, right? Because they're pretty explosive with their doubles. They move very well in clinch, but this is a very different world. So, but I think they seem like they're very dedicated to their craft, right? They're guys. They spend a lot of time on the mats. I think they have the right people around them to help them take their first step into MMA. But they still have a long way to go. They're 0 right now, so they have a lot of fights to go before they are anywhere close. And I hope one gives them the chance to develop. So don't throw them in with a guy with a lot of experience right away, because it's a night and day difference, jiu-jitsu to MMA, and not just striking. 'Cause we always say it's all about striking, but all the grappling positions are very different as well. The time is so short. You need to work, because in 5 minutes you need to get them down and choke them out. You can't really tire guys out in that way, so you can't really take your time to finish them. You really need to hustle. So I hope they do well, man. They're nice kids. Who knows?
Right. Well, I have a couple more questions. John, do you have anything else before I'm going to ask you, RDR, about this big fight coming up next week with Malkin and Bullard? I'm sure you got some opinions on it, but yeah, John, anything from you there?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's talk about the title
let's get
fight.
into that. Yeah, I just had Arjan Bullard interview today.
Oh, cool. What did he say?
He's pretty confident. I was obviously thinking Malkin is going to win this fight, but Arjan just kind of convinced me the way he talked that it's just not so easy for Anatoly. But what do you think? You were chasing him at one point, and then you ended up with Malkin. Do you think Malkin is going to smash him? A lot of people seem to say that.
He's been out for a long time, huh? So we can't really say where he's at. We don't know where he's at. What was his last fight? 2 years ago, maybe?
When he won the title against Brandon
Yeah.
Vera over 2 years ago, May or
Exactly.
April 21.
So that's crazy to be out for that long of a time. I don't know how he's been like in the gym, or I don't know nothing about the guy. I don't really even know who he trains with, to be honest. He's getting on the bad side of his 30s, right? He's like 36,
Yeah,
37 maybe.
37, I think.
There's a lot of things against him, but he is a world beater, man. He's done awesome stuff in the past. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll be watching definitely.
Mm,
What do you
yeah,
guys
I
think?
mean, I well, that's John. Why don't you give your thoughts first? I'm kind of on the fence after today. Arjan talks a good game. He said some stuff which made me think twice. Maybe it's not going to be as simple as we think. And so many times, right in this game, you just see someone pull out the performance you weren't expecting. And I don't know, John. What do you think?
Oh man, I just think that Anatoly's just you know, he's just a big truck. He's just gonna run over everybody. That's what it seems like, right?
But they're basically the same size, right?
I think so.
I don't
Like
know.
height wise, they're the same. Maybe Bullard has a bit more mass, but they're not that different.
I think it's similar. Yeah,
What,
Bullard
what do you
looks a
say?
little
What?
heftier.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more mass up top, maybe. But what do you say? What's he want to do? Just wrestle, right? Bullard.
He just says Malikin's never fought anyone in one who's actually any good, and I mean, not telling you, I mean in heavyweight, sorry, who's got a fight IQ, who can like actually give him
Yeah.
problems because nothing gets out of the first or second round. He was talking about how Mike Tyson lost all of his 5 big fights against anyone who put the pressure on and took it to the later rounds. That's what he was saying. But it could just knock him out in the first round. Malikin's got that power. You've tasted it, right?
Yeah.
Was it surprising to you? Did you underestimate it, or did you know if I get hit by that, it could be game over? I've got to avoid it.
Nah, I didn't know any of that stuff, man, because I've never been hit. I've never
Yeah,
been hit in a fight. All the 16 fights before that, I've never been hurt. So
Mhm.
I didn't know what to expect at all. I was getting a bit cocky maybe beforehand, so I thought just if I go in, I take people down, choke them out. This is the way fights happen. But it didn't go that way this time. And he has that special thing. He definitely has that special power. But um, how special is that, right? Because there's a lot of heavyweights who have that power, and there's a lot of guys. He didn't put me out with one shot.
hello.
I'm not sure if he really has one shot knockout power. He usually TKOs. He TKOs guys normally. Um, but yeah, uh, the most surprising thing in our fight was before we fought, the only thing he threw was like wild looping right hands, right? Only overhands. So what surprised me is when we fought, he threw shots straight through the middle, down the barrel, and that was the thing that surprised me. That was the most dangerous thing he did too. So that showed me he's dedicated to his craft. He's really game planning. He's really working to improve his punches. So that's a big feather in his cap. Dat je wel even niet doen. Ik ben even.
I know you want to fight him again. You reiterated that on Instagram today or yesterday, whatever it was. Is this for real? You really want to take on this guy again, and you think you've got the game plan to stop him hitting you and to get him down to do your thing where you do your best work?
I really have to, man. I can't let that thing rest. I can't let that thing go. Um, Most people I speak to ask me to not fight him again, but I have to. I have to. There's no other way. I know I can do so much better. Um, to be honest, I've really changed a lot of stuff in the way I prepare. My boxing and kickboxing stuff. I've been working on that part of my game a lot more. Um, and yeah, I believe I can beat anybody in the world. And this is a big challenge. He has like 15 kilos on me. He won the first one, but I need to work and get this one back. There's no other way. It has to happen one day. But I would like a middleweight fight first, so one should get hustling.
Well, I'll ask you about that just to end it, but one more before. Arjan also said to me when he beats Anatoly, he's going to chase him down to light heavyweight. He's going to take that title too, and he's going to retire him. What about you and Arjan at light heavyweight? Then would you like that?
Yeah, it'd be cool. That's the one thing that started it, right? Arjun was the one that was the first one I thought about fighting coming up. So who knows? But it's he has his work cut out for him, as we know. I'm very interested to see the fight. But if he's really been working, as Arjun's really been working, his defensive boxing, his movement and stuff, I think what Anatoly brings is not that like crazy, right? It's not like crazy footwork. He just cut me off very nicely. He just threw that right hand very nicely down the middle. It's not like he has a lot of weapons, right?
Well, the weapons he does have are pretty scary.
Are very, very fucking dangerous. That's definitely
yeah.
That's definitely true. I'm not trying to say anything disrespectful about him, of course. What he does very well. And Bullard, to be honest, he doesn't have that many weapons either. Have you ever seen him throw a kick? Right? No.
I mean, the win against Brandon was impressive, but he sort of wore him down. But I thought Brandon was, already getting older. He was at least 40 then, I think, and he hadn't fought in a while before that. And then, I think, this is, and he beat Mauro Chirilli as well. But I'm not sure where Chirilli stands in the level.
Yeah, exactly. He boxes all right. Bullard boxes all right, and he wrestles all right. So we'll see, man. I'm very excited for it. Do you know what's up with this? Because it's not like on the main event, and what's going on there? Do you know?
It's on Prime. Sorry, it's on Fight Night. Friday Fights 22. Yeah. It's not on a Prime Video card because they want it to be in prime time in India, where Arjan is. They're trying to get Arjan into the market there with Star Sports, who are broadcasting it, and they have a big reach over there, this TV network called Star Sports with hundreds of millions of people. So I think they want it in prime time in India, which means has to be nighttime in Asia, which means Lumpini Stadium. But I don't think it can be a main event at Lumpini Stadium because it's MMA. It's got to be Muay Thai there, so it's a bit earlier in the night. But it's a little odd. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's a little odd. I don't really know.
Well, it's free, I think, for us.
Yeah, and now they have it on. Now they have it on the main event, but it used to be like a 4th fight or something.
Who knows? We'll have to check it out. We'll have a look. Well, I just wanted to then give you the chance to give you the mic, the promo. If you want to cut a promo on anyone, you want to call anyone out, whatever you want to say, now is the chance, RDR.
Tag a friend who knows a good middleweight. Bring him to one.
Yeah, help him out. Anyone know any middleweights, please tell Rick and tell Matt.
Call Rick, call Matt, because it's not working right now. They're not fighting any. Now I believe they have some. What last thing they said to me is they have someone. I've been saying for the last half year I would like to fight in July or August. I can stretch it to September, but I need to fight. I've been out for a long time fighting wise. I got to challenge myself. I'm looking for somebody new, and I need a real challenge this time.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there because RDR is on holiday with his family in Gran Canaria, so we don't want to take any more time. I really appreciate you doing this. I did not know you were on holiday when I requested the interview. I'm so sorry.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. It's better now than when I'm at home. At home, I'm always busy, and now we're just chilling, right? So.
All right, then get back out on the beach. We'll see you soon, hopefully, for a middleweight title defense.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dom Lau here from One Championship. You are tuned into the best damn martial arts news outlet anywhere in Asia. SCMP Martial Arts, baby. Give them a follow.